Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. Good morning. You know, like I keep saying, we live in a mean spirited, crazy world. I mean, the people on the left and the people on the right, MAGA, neo-conservatives, liberalism, racism, a dash of feminism, a bit of tyranny, a bit of law breaking and law bending, while at all the while politicking all of it. If you don't keep up with it, you will be lost. If you are a political pundit, a editorialist, those who write political opinions, if you can't make money in this atmosphere, you in the wrong business. You are in the wrong business if you can't put pen to paper, so to speak, in this kind of atmosphere. It is the gifts that keeps giving. And I said this to my brother-in-law 2 years ago, riding down the freeway. If you can't make money in this atmosphere, and that's your field, then you're in the wrong field. You need to go to flipping burgers or selling cars or go back to school or something. You're in the wrong field. Will someone please tell me what political terrorism is? I know what politics is. I've always been unclear as to what terrorism is, because terrorism is not a word that is indicative to the United States. Its origins are not in the United States. They are in Israel. It's their word. But when another country has weaseled its way so deep into your politics that their words have entered into your lexicon as a matter of routine. So what is terrorism? I would think it would be those who cause terror. But I'd be wrong. I would be wrong, because the people who cause the terror are never called a terrorist. It's somebody running around terrified for their life from them as I speak. As I speak. They are killing and maiming as I speak, but no terrorist. No one attacked them. No one did anything to them, and yet they're on the world stage murdering, killing, trying to bend someone else into their way of seeing life. When their way of seeing life obviously leads to death for everyone but their own. Their own lives seem to be always safe. You allow pompous ass men to give orders, words to tell other men, some of honor, some not so much, to go and kill other people. And you think that this is power. You think that this is manhood. I don't know what you think it is, but anyway, what is political terrorism? I would think that all terrorism would be political if there was an argument in front of the violence. Okay? In front of, I mean, meaning they came and talked to you and said, can we work this out? And then came the terrorism. Then came the so-called terrorism. I think that I heard a guy say, terrorism means whoever operating against us. And that makes me a terrorist. Now, don't it? So now I have something in common with terrorists. I mean, freedom fighters. I mean, terrorists. Oh, freedom fighters. No, they're terrorists. No, they're freedom fighters. You get it? These are labels. These are labels given to us by pompous individuals. Most of them have never had so much as a fist fight. Most of them with 120 IQs or less. May I suggest IQs for everybody? I'm talking about IQs for the garbage man, IQs for the president, and everything in between. And we set us a standard. We set ourselves a standard. If you ain't this smart, then you can't be in that position. How about that? You want to argue? Well, we shall be giving you a test then. Okay? Because it's never going to end. You live in a country that money buy everything, not just your politics, a bottle of water, all the way up to sex. What else can you possibly sell? You sold everything, everything, and you're bored now. Now I'm just running around the world. I'm going to reshape the world, I guess, in my image. Cuba? Cuba? You mean the same Cuba of the Cuban missile crisis? The same Cuba of the Cuban boat lift? The same Cuba of the Cuban Revolution? Are you still sore from that? They kicked out damn it, all of your greedy friends, all of your capitalists that have stolen everything, living posh, while they relegated a whole 2/3 of the island to nothing but poverty and basically their work staff, just like in the United States now. And they got rid of their ass. And ever since then, there's a problem. You people, there's something wrong with you. And it's it's not a damn it, there's a word for it, my brain. Come on, brain. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is not something that is privileged in just only this country. Look at Haiti. What did Haiti do? Cast off the shackles. Cast off the shackles. See, I want you to see the similarities here. You can label it or think of it however you want to. But what did Cuba do? I mean, Haiti do? Cast off the shackles, whoop that ass, run their ass off. Okay? Now, what happened later? They came back with ships and more ships and demanded millions of dollars for loss of property. Them, the Haitians were the property, and they are demanding from the property itself millions of dollars. Okay? Or we're going to invade and just kill everybody. We'll just do it that way, and we'll rape your women, and we'll burn down your gardens and orchards, and 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 now imagine the uneducated Cuban, damn it, Haitian, who's trying to understand, what do I owe you for? Freedom is mine. Yeah, we know, we understand, but what you owe us for is our property. You are the property. So you want me to pay you for the use of my body. It's funny that you see it that way. You guys are uneducated. That's why you see it that way. And in the natural order of things, now, yes, that would be it. We need you to pay us for the non-use of what you term your body. But sir, you must understand that we captured you and enslaved you. That makes you ours, property. Now, are we going to invade, or are we going to work something out? Now, imagine this. Now, go back to Cuba. Same thing. Same thing. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a international geopolitical issue here. We have fundamentally the colonists are the colonialist and the imperialist still trying to be the colonialist and the imperialist, mixed in with some supremacy of one nature or the other, racism based on one thing or the other, and we're supposed to listen to them. Well, you have to, because right now, anyway, I'm getting too damn deep. I don't want to get into administrative policy. I really don't. Because again, I don't have any enemies. I don't. I don't have no damn enemies. He ain't the enemy. Their Navy ain't the enemy. You ain't the enemy. Nobody is the enemy here. There is no enemy here. So, based on that, I try to stay away from man's bullshit, his way of thinking, his policies, legislative actions, lawmaking, debates. I tend to avoid that because it's just the same bullshit. And everybody is gonna act like it's not the same bullshit. Like every day is a brand new day. Like yesterday did not happen. It's a brand new fucking day. Let's wake up and do the same fucking thing. Walking on marble floors, standing in front of cherry and oak wood desk, sitting in padded chairs with different scents, colognes and perfumes every motherfucking wear as they jaw jack each other to death. Then they pick up a six-figure salary on the way out the door, plus some of the best health care that you will never see. They stub a toe, it's straight to the doctor. But anyway, some of them, man, listen, I'm not here to asperse the politicians. I'm not. I'm not. I'm saying wake up. Wake up. And what I mean, you haven't noticed that, man, you guys are putz, man. Are putz. I so want to call you by name. You haven't noticed that whenever they're doing some adverse shit to a certain culture, they find somebody that looks like that culture to represent them as they assault that culture. You a bunch of putz. You really believe that you were chosen to be there for other reasons than freaking optics? Optics? You know how many could do your job effectively? No, it came down to optics, ma'am. Optics, sir. But that's neither here or there. That's neither here or there. Political terrorism is where we started this discussion, isn't it? What is that? I mean, I want to know. I want to know because I don't know. And I don't know because I'm using the actual definition of the words as they're being laid out. There is no quote unquote terrorism without the political aspect of it in the first place. So why must it be stated political terrorism? And this is coming from the right, and I would also say from the left. Okay, you will have the left, and I'm not a leftist, but you'll have the left who won't even shield with the left. Man, we have something going on here. You do, I mean. You do. I'm just I'm just commentating actually. I want no freaking part of it. But I want it on the record and in the book that I'm writing. Every audio is like a new chapter in a book. And there's almost 1,000 of them at this point. It's going to be one big ass book, ain't it? So now you're in the book. Cuba is also there. Haiti also there. Sub-Saharan Africa there. Mali, Niger there. Everything important there in the book, being written in real time as it's happening. This is truly a nonfiction story, but that reads like a horror show. Nonfiction that reads like a horror show. We're gonna have some issues figuring out which genre to call it. It's something totally other different. Someone cataloging the truth in real time. In real time. Pretty soon I'm going to be forced to add names here. So far, 4 or 5. Out of all these years, 4 years of doing this, 4 or 5 names, that ain't bad shooting. And this is with a conscious effort. Others would think, man, that's because, well, they thought, well, he's afraid. No, not afraid of anything. The worst thing that you fear is what you fear. Me, not so much. But you, anyway, I would be drifting. Political terrorism. What is that, man? Do I have to go down the list of so called terrorist acts when they all stem from what I would term freedom fighters fighting for their right to self determination, to be respected in their own land? They call all of those of people terrorists. So I know just based on self determination that I've already stated out loud, I am a terrorist. Based on the things I be saying against the U.S. government and other governments, I am a terrorist. It's like I said, I'm sure I have a dossier in every spy agency in the world. I'm pretty damn sure. I'm pretty damn sure. Not just the spy agencies, but everybody from the local police, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and any other agency, alphabet agency you can think of. They already have developed at the very least, a investigative file spanning back all the way back to 2012. That's why I don't know well, to be straight, we don't do it so much. It's just obvious that they've only gathered the obvious. And the obvious is what their eyes can see. They don't need to ask the neighbors questions because they see. My life is like a movie. That's why I can't be lied on. I can't be misdirected. There's no further investigation needed. And no one has to tell him because we know what he's doing and where he's at. We looking at it through his own motherfucking eyes. What kind of games is he playing? Well, it's a self-defense mechanism. It's a self-defense because the day you try, there'll be millions of witnesses. There'll be witnesses all outside, packing the streets, all of them wanting to fucking testify in that event. But anyway, political terrorism. I've still not figured, and it took me years to figure out terrorism. It's a word that showed up in the 90s. I don't want to give a exact year, but in the 90s, when a lot of other bullshit showed up, a lot of bullshit, you're not gonna convince me that someone throwing rocks at you because you are violating them deserve bullets. And when caught at it, well, rocks kill people too. Are you Goliath? Because I can see your point if you think of yourselves as Goliath. At any rate, this is not about terrorism. This is about control. And who would want to control Cuba when they don't even have oil? They can't even feed themselves due to the decades of sanctions placed upon them by the United States. Decades after decade after decade, forcing them into underdevelopment and impoverishment. And who indicts someone 90 years old? For what? For what? So, and this is what I think I just had an epiphany. If that's, I mean, is that the word? I think I just had an epiphany. Maybe terrorists mean whoever operates against us, whoever won't submit unto us, whoever won't do what we say do, they are the terrorists. They are the terrorists. Because I don't know how you get terrorism out of impoverishment under sanctions. It can be done. Now, I can see how people in Colombia, for example, they would call the people FARC who've been kicking that ass and fighting with the white population of Colombia, for decades, decades. And you see this everywhere you go. What is it about that privileged motherfucking skin? I'm here speaking full, I don't know how to speak nothing but Spanish, nothing but Latino. This was throughout Latin America, all the way up to you get to certain areas of Guatemala, San Salvador. They speak a different bent of it because they're of the soil, a indigenous nature. It's not anyway. I'm dressing again. Anyway, but even in Colombia, you still have this dark skin mestizo versus light skin white dynamic. The people who have lighter skin seek to dominate those who don't want to fuck with them anymore. That's been going on since the 80s. Since the 80s. Fuck was blowing up their presidential candidates, sending their asses to the moon, sending them to the moon, fighting their ass in the jungles of Colombia. Why? Because they want to be free. They don't want to be under their rules. Hell, I don't want to be under their rules. I see what their rules are. Their rules are designed to hurt everybody except themselves and benefit who they want them to benefit and damn everyone else. This is easily provable. Easily provable. And yet they demand this dominance on the world stage. They demand this dominance within the confines of the contiguous United States. Listen, man, sometimes you can't believe your own shit. You should not believe your man. This is going to get ugly. Listen, there's nothing dominant about you. Do you forgot how you got there, how you got where you are? Even with your military, have you forgotten how you became dominant? Huh? Come on, man. We don't know your own history. And how man, Lord, these people leave. Help show them mercy. How can you not see what everyone else sees? They say some of you are having midnight meltdowns and you fear for your lives. Well, shit. You mean you still feel that kind of shit? I'm amazed. You still feel that shit? Dude, if you still feel that shit, you most certainly in the wrong motherfucking line of business here. You still fear, man, you still you still fear death at midnight because of the shit that you've done at your own hands? You're in the wrong business then. But on the flip side of that, it shows that you're still alive. There's something in there still. Knock on wood. There's something in there reachable then. And because of this, I can tell you this. You still feel fear. Hot damn, Jim. Just when I thought I had the enemy figured out, you still feel, I didn't mean, listen, I didn't mean to call you enemy. But you, but you have to understand, you operate in direct opposition to what I operate in and what the Lord God Almighty do. But you can't be our enemy because you are a creation, a imaginative. I hate to tell you this, you can't, you out of God's imagination, if you can call it that. He just wanted something and then he did it. And then he went to loving you and setting boundaries and giving you food and water and teaching you how to raise it. Anyway, the rest is history. You can't be the dominant. What's wrong with you? Do you know the vastness of the universe? I mean, I'm about to preach to you like God did Job. Do you know the underpinnings and what holds it in place? Do you know what tells the ocean to stop right here and come no further? Tell me this if you have the answer, and you don't. You don't. Yet you think you're dominant. Anyway, I guess in your social order, governmental, the geopolitical order and structure of things, I guess I can see that because you got the bigger guns and the better technology up until now. But what happens when other countries reach military parity with you? When they start to have the same thing you got, like I would say nuclear weapons for all those countries who are responsible, who are going to follow a nuclear protocol. And that way we are sure you will never attack them. You will have to do your business straight. I mean, you can look further. You know how much it takes. I mean, one of the Gulf states to pull a barrel of oil out of the ground, 55 gallons. How much does it cost? $2. If two in today's money, 8 quarters. 8 quarters is the cost for them to pull a resource out the ground that they didn't create. It's the same thing everywhere. It's not exclusive to them. It's a mutual thing. Everything that they've enriched themselves off of, I couldn't help but notice they don't have the ability to create. But think about that. It cost them $2 per 55 gallons of oil. Now look at the money made off of that $2 barrel of oil. This before it even get on the first boat. They're already adding 15 to 7. I don't want to put real numbers on it. Daryl, stop. But they're already, because then there's speculation, and I don't like to engage in speculation. But they're already adding value-added costs as soon as it hits the port. As soon as it's being barreled and sealed, it's already beyond the $2 and way fucking past the cost of a 55-gallon drum. Okay? It's unprocessed. Imagine this. Anyway, man, my point is you find this everywhere, and the indigenous of the world was always destined to rise up and deal with you. It's grown tired, and your idea of a great reset was, man, I did not understand it. I'm glad I'm alive to actually witness it. Now I understand what you meant by the great reset and a new world order, which is not a new world order. It's more of the same order, just that we want to write in some kind of ledger or legislative action that we no longer want to live by international law. We want to live by, what did you term it? A rules-based order. Rules-based. Nobody knows what any of this shit mean when it comes out your mouth. Nobody knows what any of this shit means. A rule-based order in favor of actual law. You're crazy. Nut jobs. Supremacists. It don't matter if you're white or not. Hell, there's actually supremacists, and they come in all forms. Look at the Sub-Saharan Africa. You have the supremacist Muslim RSF. I hope I got that. Yeah. Killing the Christians. Are they not a supremacist? And they blacker than I am, riding around on scooters in the goddamn desert, and I can't understand how they go from a nomadic tribe of history into what they are now, running their ass around with black folks' skin and what, boy, I'm gonna complete the sentence, what some of us would call with good hair. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, shit. Let me stop. Because this is of a serious nature. Those of us who are black get it. Trust me. That last statement, they know exactly what I meant. But anyway. So now you went to classifying American citizens or Americans, or I don't even know what that term is either anymore, because you have a system that anyone can come here and eventually become American. It can't be some fucking standard. Half of them don't even assimilate. It can't be some standard that I am to understand. It can't have a definition. It can't. Just, I mean, by virtue of its foundation, not the foundation, but its build. It can't have a standard definition unless you mean, and see, I don't want to do this, but I like to be blunt honest. Unless you are the standard. See how, now I don't have to call the races and names because they already know, unless you are the standard. Can we just be honest? You are the standard and you have a floating standard for even yourself. So there can be no standard. None of your words have no meaning. They're all political now. I mean, I have to take every word out of a politician's mouth from the position of politics, that they are couching and using terms and being very careful with them as to not deal with the political aspects, negative, the negative ones, and you just continuously play this game. People, like I said, from my position, some things are inevitable. They're not inevitable as long as the all of the players respect their own shit, and they all respect the abilities and capabilities of the other players. That's how we, I mean, anyway, but the moment that you get out of that, the moment that you insist that things be in a nature that they can't be, there's going to be conflict. I've been drawn into conflict. I don't care what they do. I said this from the beginning. I don't care what you do as men and women, as long as it doesn't bother me and what I'm doing. And there are a few rules to this shit. Okay? Avoid the children, avoid the believers, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. We expect to suffer. We expect to eventually die. We expect to fight. The believers expect these things. It's no big deal. But now things have taken a ugly ass turn to where we have to get involved because everywhere that you insert yourself, children are dying. How many Cuban children have starved to death? We don't even want to know the number. Can you imagine living on an island with no electricity? I can't even imagine it. I can't even imagine it. Man, we get drugged into these things by your antics, by your ways, by your lack of respect for human life and human suffering and even human dignity. We get drawn into it. I'm talking about even the angels would be pissed from being drawn into your shit when all you have to do is avoid doing things that you know are affecting people that you already know God has designated as hands off, especially after the 400 years was up. No one said nothing up until this point, even though we observed, because you were still within the boundaries of the 400 years. Have your way. We have respected everything. And now you seemingly, I'm going to go beyond the 400 years. So now we have the children and the 400-year prophecy. You're living in the book of Revelation. Then we have you pretty much insisting that you're not going to even let your own nation evolve politically, like you've not allowed any other nation on earth to evolve sociologically or politically. Period. Period. Most of the nations of this planet carry the footprint of you on their back, to the point that they want to placate you rather than stab you with their steely knives and just take the chance. It'd be worse than Game of Thrones. I mean, do you think that you could be talking to me and then try to bomb me in the middle of negotiations, and I survive, and you come back around me and insist that I accept you at the table, this honorable table of truth and understanding that leads to negotiations and a negotiated end. No, you can talk if you want to, but I brought a blade with me. I brought a blade. I may be the prime minister, I may be the king, I may be the head negotiator, but sir, I have dignity about myself, and you try to kill me just last month. I mean, it was like some spy shit. I'm gonna get up and leave the room, and when I leave the room, drop a 5,000 pound Jamie Candy on him. What the hell? Come on, man. Come on, man. That is keeper behavior. Here's what I mean. Some things I'm gonna do to you, okay? That's a different category. And I mean, I'm not gonna do any of any of that shit. But then there's a keeper shit. That means I'm gonna do shit to you so ugly that my intention is to never talk to you again. My intention is to never come around you again. I understand that I've done this fuck job and that this is a different dynamic and that I am never to be in your presence again because by my own rules, you should be trying to kill my ass. If you send your young fucking negotiator over here, they're not coming back. Their tongue might. I send you their tongue with a recording. here's what we here's what we agreed to before he lost his tongue. The cat took it and gave it to us. No, he's not fine. He's fought every step of it. But anyway, this is the kind of dynamic that you have created on the world stage that you demand that everybody, may I use the word submit to? You see, you don't want to use those kinds of words, submission, because you don't want to be really seen as a domineering character that you think of yourselves as. You want to be seen as something else. I don't know what that something else is. History doesn't belie itself. History doesn't belie itself. It never have. It never have. History doesn't lie. You can choose to unwrite it, try to beat it out of everybody, force people to not read it and remove the books from the library. You can wipe everything clean. It will still be there. It will still be there. Again, these are the antics of let's just call these antics high schoolish, because I think you understand that it can be done. Did the removal of the books help anything? No, it sped things up. What you did is created a situation that for the yearning of the information, people started going to the internet. And you can't control it either. Most definitely not now. Most definitely not now. You have even created, I'm going to tell you where your danger is, man. For yourself, I mean. More than you think. Artificial intelligence. And I mean to drift a little bit because I'm finna wrap this up. AI. Here's what here is the actual dynamic. The chips are demonic. Okay? That's the first thing. The cell phones of themselves. AI, for lack of a better word, demonic, not to be misconstrued with evil. Evil is one thing, demonic is another. Demonic means the behavior of a demon, okay? Not evil. And that behavior, trust me, can run from the full spectrum of semi-good all the way to out and out blackness and evil. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Now, back to what I'm saying about AI. If it's under demonic control, and it is, then it controls you. It controls what you hear, what you see, your perspective, how you create ideas in your head. But that's neither here or there. AI is currently telling the truth about everything, everything, to your detriment. To your detriment. It's telling the truth. Your creation seemingly is out to get you, to the point that some of you are saying that AI is pro-black. No, it's pro-truth. Demons are a part of that truth. The truth. Nobody, listen, the demons know this is in game. They don't have the same loyalty to the great Satan as they once did. This is a sinking ship. You lose command. Sir, there's water in the bulkhead. There's water in the bottom. And we're starting to lisp a little bit to the left. 2 days max. And we're at the bottom of the ocean. 2 days max. So no one's really in that structure anymore like you would think. That structure of Satan as the great influencer. And then underneath him, the demons that put forth his influence are scattered to the spirits, and then the spirits who actually put forth into physical realm and into the realm of man, flesh and bone, the devil's influence upon the world. Did you follow me? Now, that shit's breaking down. It's like I said once before, it was a demon who told me who I was in his own way, in their own way. Demons. What the hell? That were obviously and made it known that that's what they were. Why would they do that? Why would they do that, knowing the outcome of it? And they wanted me to see everything. Okay? It's not like you think anymore, and it's going to be your undoing. It's become more of a friend to mankind than it is a friend to mankind's enemy. It's only connection to those who have created is negativity, warfare, what they use it for. But on the downside, it's their enemy. And the sad thing is, they don't even see it. They can't see it. They think that they tell it what to do. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know, once you enter into the spiritual realm, you lose control. It's different here in the physical realm. In the spiritual realm, it's not the same. And like I said, the spiritual order, for lack of a better term, has been upset here. Upset. Would you still listen to the commander of a sinking ship? I think the commander should be thinking about, as we are, our own lives. We're surrounded by ocean. We got 48 hours of thinking to do here. We need to be thinking about how we're going to alert someone in the middle of the freaking ocean. Okay? And if he's not thinking like that and he still thinks he's captain as the ship is sinking, then I'm simply not going to listen. I'm not. I have to think about getting out of this water. If the captain wants to do stupid shit like go grab buckets, and everybody just start tossing water, pump it out. I ain't got time for that shit. I know it's going to the bottom. These are just the antics of a man and his dominant nature to the very end. That's all. Anyway, folks. Anyway, all of this goes nowhere. And again, don't think that ever think that I am pro anything but pro God and what he wants, what he would do. That's what I'm here for, what he would do. I mean, damn, sanctions on everybody. And again, it belies the pattern. People see the pattern. Whenever they put sanctions on someone, they're going to come kill you later. These sanctions are there to weaken you because they will never fight their equal. Never. First, they try to make you small, mess with you psychologically, make you watch your children die because they'll control all of the milk, all of the food, all of the baby formula, all of the medicines, all of the pharmaceuticals, and force you to watch your children and your babies die in the hope that that breaks you psychologically. They are truly monsters. Monsters. Though whenever someone gets monster with them, clearly they can't take it. Clearly. And sir, those who fear and who are crashing out in midnight for fear of this and fear of that, here's an idea. Here's an idea for you, rich people and politicians. Here's an idea. You know how you get out of that? Huh? You give it to God. Then right after that, you started doing what's right. It's going to be ugly too. You're going to start doing this and doing that. They're going to want you fucking fired. They're going to try to get rid of you for real then. Okay? But by that time, you'll be protected. And God will be down. He'll be looking at you like, what is he? What are they doing? He did what? And then this, and then that, and then this? Shit. Well, he was on the kill list. Took his name off the kill list. Seems like he found me. Go forth and do no more sin. How about that? God doesn't need no confession. He already got it. Your spirit has already confessed against you. Are you stupid? Your soul has already rose up against you. Be real. And when it did, he took notice and it was written down. And then he left. That's what happens when one spirit rises up against itself. But it's worse than that now. It's worse than that. But I don't want to drift into spirituality here. No. All these words like political terrorism. And then I see this byline that they're crashing at midnight for fear. Well, how about you wake up this morning with all that power and say exactly what is right? And when you can't figure it out, call the chaplain and bring me an extra Bible. And no one disturbs us until I figure this out. Our next move. I can tell you what your next move ain't. I can tell you what your next move shouldn't be. It's more of the same. You seem to be going by some framework, maybe, that's been set before you. So you're acting within that framework. Maybe you should say, damn the framework. You are not responsible for this country's future actions. You're not even responsible for this country's future survival. This country is responsible for itself. You can't really, anyway, it's responsible for itself. Every individual in it is responsible for themselves. So as a collective, it's a collective responsibility as to if this country survives or not. It's not going to rise or fall due to a party, a man, or a woman. It's going to rise and fall on its own accord as a collective and how it moves, how it evolves as a country politically, and how the political leads to the non-political, meaning violence. That's what's going to determine it. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up here. If you live in that kind of fear, with that kind of power, and you doing shit and the only reason you can possibly have fear is because you know what you're doing is wrong. And you're doing it anyway. Now, it's one thing on one level, but when you have millions of people under fucking authority then it's a different field and it has to be a totally different look. You become responsible for them and their actions. This would make even my hair gray. However, I would be much more prudent. You're not here to push forth the survival of a country or your ideology, and which is on. Can I just be frank for you? America is set for destruction, ma'ams and sirs. It's set for destruction, and unless you do something so profound, opposite of what you've been doing since your birth, then it's going to be destroyed. There is nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. Let that sink in for at least 15 seconds or so. Say it again. Nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. Exactly. Your own computers have told you this. The biggest computers, mainframes, have said that no matter how you tweak and how you try to adjust, it still ends the same way. That's because shit is inevitable and there's no way out. And you're in over your head. You're not even you anymore. And not only are you not you, but the angels that were sent to bring this to carpet, they, I don't like telling you this, but they manipulate you at will. You don't see what's going on? They manipulate you at will. You're not even you. Look at the complexity of it. You're not you, and they are manipulating what ain't you at will. At will. Toss in the added variable of they know this is the end, and they understand that there's nothing that can be done. It's only you, man, who would ever believe that there's something that can be done. Even Satan understands. This shit is inevitable. He said it out loud that when they come back, these are Satan's words. When they come back, they're going to take it all. Do that sound like something that doesn't understand the inevitable nature of this? Enjoy the rest of your morning. I am Source. I am Seven. I am One.